it's Tara, and it's time for Sunday Reads. So today I am feeling really tired for some reason. Maybe it's the weather, it's kind of gray and rainy, and I didn't sleep so well last night, so now I'm like, nah. No nap, Sunday Reads. This week I finished 2 books, both for buddy reads. One was The Guns of Avalon by Zelazny, the second in the Chronicles of the Amber series, which I'm reading with a Goodreads buddy group sort of thing. So yeah, I think last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, I talked about 9 Princes in Amber, and I wasn't super excited about it. And Guns of Avalon was better, but not significantly so. It's nice for a sort of light read, and it adheres to pretty much most of the fantasy stereotypes, especially from the 70s, and that part's not so enjoyable. Like, you know, the main character has women falling into his arms wherever he goes. Oh, okay, it's not that bad, but every woman he meets does fall into his arms, so excepting his sisters. Okay, so yeah, the second book was a little more entertaining, although there were some bits of traveling that were just a little excessive that I totally skipped over. But ultimately, I was amused and a little more interested, although it's a bit too simplistic, I think, for if it's taking itself seriously. Like, I feel like Scott Meyer's series, which I think I talked about last week, and Unwelcome Quest, the Magic 2.0 series, is stereotype. It has a lot of stereotypes in it, but it's doing it on purpose and it's not taking itself seriously. So I think that Guns of Avalon feels like maybe it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's hard to tell, and if it is taking itself seriously, then it's not as good, I guess, as if it's sort of making fun of itself. So I don't know, but I'm definitely going to keep reading. Unless something really crazy happens, I'll go ahead and finish out the 9 books in this 9 or 10 books in the series. They're only like 200 pages long each, so it's not a big deal. The other book I finished, I was buddy reading with Rachel from Kalanadi, and I'll link her channel down below. We read Crux by Ramez Naam, and the book itself was alright. It was alright. Quite honestly, I'm reading it not so much for the story as for the technology. As a thought experiment, I think the book is really interesting, since Naam is he's very active in the science and software field, so he's building a lot off of his own knowledge. So I feel like it's not necessarily logical, but it follows a logical process, and that's interesting to think about. There is so much violence in this book, and Rachel and I were saying that it's so like shades of gray. There are definite bad guys and definite good guys, but so much of it is happening in the middle, and it's just really hard it's really hard on you emotionally as a reader, I think, to read through this book. I did skim a lot of the action scenes. They just weren't interesting to me. We did get some character growth on some of the characters, and some of them didn't grow at all. I think one of the challenges with a book like this is that there are so many characters that it's hard to really get attached to any number of them. My favorite character is one of the minor side characters, Fang, because he somehow manages to have so much personality, and I kind of wish that some of the other characters had that same ability written into them. I'm not really sure, but anyways, it was good. I think actually what I enjoyed more about reading the book was talking with Rachel about the book. This was my first buddy read where I've actually like had pages, like we read the same sections and then talked about the same sections, and I really like that format, and I had a lot of fun. So this week I will be starting to read Crystal Rain by Tobias Buckle with Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. I haven't read anything steampunky in a while, and has such a huge love for that, so I am definitely looking forward to reading this one with him. It's a little bit long as well, so I'm not sure if we'll finish it this week or not, but I'm looking forward to that. I also want to read something relaxing. I feel so emotionally taxed after all of the violence in Guns of Avalon and Crux, so I will probably read some sort of middle grade fiction, maybe The Mysterious Benedict Society, which has sort of lukewarm reception, it seems like, in the reviews that I've read, but it's like puzzles and, I don't know, genius children sort of playing games. I don't know. I honestly don't know much about it. I like going into books blind, so I don't know too much more than it has 4 stars, and it's about exceptional children, and it's sort of reminiscent of Dickens and Lemony Snicket's. So we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit long, so I'm slightly concerned, but as long as I have fun, that's what counts, right? So today's tea is a mix of Ahmad's English breakfast tea. It's 1 tablespoon of that and 1 tablespoon of Itoen's mixed spice tea. It was like a winter tea that they had, and it's a kind of like chai spices, but more, not quite as spiced as a chai tea, and ends up giving it just like this really nice spiced flavor with milk and honey, as I usually do with my strong black teas, and it's delicious, and I'm really enjoying it while I relax on this dreary Sunday. I have a couple tags that I want to do, so maybe I'll load one this week and one next week or something like that. So I'm looking forward to those. There's some interesting ones. And I think that's about it for me. I will see you around, and I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. And if you have finished your weekend, I hope you have a wonderful week at work. So I will see you next time.